make sure your mics are turned on. Oh, I gotta get the phone.
You have reached the town of Barrett. You have reached the town of Barrett, a bicentennial town.
That's right, I gotta do that first.
Please enter your PIN followed by...
Okay. Let's see. Kirk? Could you mute your phone, please, unless you so wish to talk? Only because we can hear everything.
Well, hang on a minute. Yeah.
All set? Good. Yep. Okay, would everyone please stand? Remain standing afterwards. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Unfortunately, we had 3 more members of our community pass away this past month. John Brennan, Dale Byers, and Jacqueline Miller. We would please a moment of silence for them and their families. Thank you very much. Okay, has everybody had a chance to review the bills?
What's going on with the computer system that we couldn't?
Computer, I just got it late today, but there was a problem with our main file server. The company that CNH works with, they were notified by the company that there was a possible security issue. So they have been, CNH, along with this other company, have worked on it with our file server over here, and he just finished up today. He said to let you guys know, which I forwarded that message to you. I think I did it in a text. So a quick picture and send it by text so you get it quicker. And saying that everything has been corrected and you can get into the file server and check things out there.
We sent a lot of stuff by email too.
I'm sorry?
We sent a lot of stuff by email, that's all.
Well, that's what Joe had recommended until they got that corrected, to please utilize email to get the materials out to everybody. But it'll now go back to the file server.
So I moved to pay the bills.
I'll second it.
George and Margaret, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So carried. Okay, minutes. Everybody have a chance to look those over. Any questions, problems with those? Okay, do I hear a motion to accept the minutes?
I'll
then?
make the motion.
I'll second.
Margaret and David. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Sure.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Opposed? So carried. Old business. Hemlock Ridge Solar. Anything there you wish to, I mean, other than we did submit to them the road use agreement, and we've heard nothing back. They were really hard pushing us to get that into them. We sent them our copy of the road use agreement, and we haven't heard anything since.
Right, yep. I have no update other than still waiting for the response.
Okay, thank you. Baird Solar, they've got it pretty much all cleaned up. The roads have all been cleaned, fresh stone has been put down. It's all been seeded, hydro-seeded, cutting the grass, got the trees up across the front of the project. Pretty much it's all buttoned up. I think there's only a couple of small items left. That's it for the Baird project. Heritage Wind, anything there?
I reached out to, I'm still concerned about the decommissioning numbers. So I did reach out to Texas A&M, again, research firm, to see if they had any numbers. And I'm trying to find right now the response. Mainly it was way low and really needed to look into it, or the town or leaseholders are going to be held responsible, and we don't want that. Just a second, should
Have
be
you
able to pull
looked
this
at
up.
over the decommissioning plan?
What do you mean?
The one that we had approved with Heritage Wind, did you look that over?
No, I didn't think we had approved anything yet. We were still,
Decommissioning a long time ago.
We were still-
Yes, and there is a bond that has been issued that is supposed to be readdressed every 5 years. I
Right,
think
but-
I brought this up with you
yes,
last meeting.
but now New York State says that we need to come up with what the cost is going to be, and they have to agree to that, and we're way low, and the 5% or whatever the increase isn't going to happen, as we talked about before. They're not going to jump it $700,000. So we need to come up with a number that we feel comfortable with. And
Something new, I'd like to see that, where you got that from the state, I'd like to see a copy.
it was in the paper.
Like I said, show me a copy.
That's all right.
When you get a chance, it doesn't have to be right now.
Okay, but let me take and try to find this real quick, just to, so that you're up to speed on that. But anyways, we should, I see this is her response, August 4th.
Her?
Yeah, Cassandra McQuillan. She's, I see that the Heritage Wind Project looks like it has been approved. I gave her a number of 283, because I don't know where I got that. That's what I thought it was. Do not believe 283,000 per turbine would even make a dent towards decommissioning. The size of the modern turbines is so huge that large cranes and expensive equipment are needed to tear them down. It is the landowner who will bear this expense at some point.
And this is someone from Texas.
Texas A&M Research, yes. Research, and we can also, so I think we need to do some more homework. I think we need to go out to, find some of these that have been decommissioned. That's what I was asking her for, but she didn't, I was hoping that she'd come up with some actual examples, but she didn't give those. I can
We
push her
have
again.
involved with this, we have the Labella Group.
Yeah, that's what I was just gonna say. They do these projects all the time, so getting like up-to-date amounts for New York, they would have that information.
I sent that to them, and the projects they're looking at were a lot smaller, a lot shorter, and I was asking them to look into other projects across the nation that would be more comparable. And I sent them some examples in Oklahoma that were being taken down, Australia, but I don't know if they,
Okay, yeah, I'm
We need to
I'm
follow
not
up.
sure. Yeah, I know usually they, like developers in New York kind of go to other ones in New York. Not to say that New York has the better standard, but that's usually what they're gonna look to. Not that it's bad to have other data,
then we
but
need to, right, then we need to, extrapolate if they're, they're talking a certain size, what's it gonna be there, and then, 20 years. So I think the numbers are low, and I really think we need to follow up on that.
okay. Send us the research that you found
I
or
did.
that take.
I sent it already to.
Oh, okay.
All the stuff.
Oh.
Yeah, Bridget has that.
Okay.
Okay, comprehensive plan.
Did you get the, did you get the email from Barb?
I saw the one from Barb, I also saw one from Lee, because they just met this past Monday, and I got that on Tuesday morning. I did see those, so they have supposedly given us, I have not looked at it because of getting ready for tonight's meeting, but they supposedly have given us a final product that we must now, as a town board, take a look at.
Right. Planning board.
Planning
So-
board, yes.
So, yeah, we need to set a time. Probably a secondary workshop.
We're gonna have to probably have a second workshop, because like I said, all our budget material for 2026 was just sent out today.
Yep.
And it has, by state, there are specific deadlines to have many things done. Okay. Water District 10, grants the CDBG, right, Community Development Block Grant, has been submitted, and now it just awaits C on that.
How long is it usually on, wait, what was the last time? Month or two?
About 3 months. I
3
think.
months?
The hope is that we will get it so that we can put things out to bid.
Yep.
It'd be great if we could start putting that shovel in the ground next summer,
Yeah.
fall at the latest.
Yeah, especially for those people out there that have just terrible wells.
I've gotten my usual yearly call, even more so already, because of dry wells over in that neck of the woods.
And I'd like to just to go on record that, thank the people that sent in letters and concerns, and hopefully it'll help with the grant. Had 14 letters.
Okay. New business. Line transfers, you had received those. So what I'm looking for is to, just, we do this twice a year. This year, we're about a month late on doing it. We also do it in December at our last meeting of the year, just to balance all the books out.
Yeah, I make a motion to do the line transfers as shown.
I hear a second.
I'll second.
Dave seconds. All in favor?
Aye.
Kurt? Okay, opposed? So carried. He did not vote, he didn't say. 4 to 0, yes. Okay, next. We've talked about this several times, and we have a motion for reassessment for 2026, whereas Section 305 of the New York State Real Property Tax Law mandates uniform and equitable assessment, and whereas computer-assisted mass appraisal systems, technical advice, and final are available for a cooperative agreement with the New York State Office of Real Property Service and the Orleans County Real Property Tax Service Agency. And whereas the last town-wide reassessment of real property tax took place in 2020, and whereas the town board is convinced that a reassessment is necessary to comply with Section 305 of the New York State Real Property Tax Law, now therefore be it resolved by the Berry Town Board as follows. Section 1, that the assessor of the town of Berry is hereby authorized to undertake and implement a reassessment of the 2026 assessment roll. Section 2, that the town board does hereby agree in conjunction with the New York State Office of Real Property Services and the Orleans County Real Property Tax Service Agency to support the town assessment staff in this assessment. And Section 3, that the town board and the assessor are authorized to enter into any necessary agreements to achieve this purpose. Any agreement with a private contractor to provide services for this reassessment shall be entered into only upon review by the town supervisor and the assessor. The Berry Town Board shall approve said agreements that result in an expenditure.
I second that.
Okay, I presented, George seconds. All in favor?
Aye.
I heard. Who said aye?
I heard him.
Yes, he did.
Okay. Opposed? Turn them up again, I didn't hear what he said. What was that?
I voted on the last one too.
Okay. Okay. Now, how did you vote?
I voted yes.
Okay, there you go, 5 now on that. Okay, now, I sent this out to you as well. They had 5 recommendations that NYMER sent the town that they would like the town to address. 4 of those Dale is working on. The 5th one is this one that we're looking at right now, which we are proposing as local law number 1 of 2025. And it is entitled Town of Berry Notice of Defects Law. I am not going to read all of this verbatim because it is lengthy, but basically what it is saying is that anyone, if a local law providing for written notification of defects and obstruction on town highways, bridges, street sidewalks, crosswalks, and culverts in the town of Berry. So what they're saying here is that it has to be done in writing, submitted to the town clerk, and within 10 days after the receipt of all written notices, received pursuant to this local law. Superintendent and his team will go on out and assess what the story is and correct it if it is possible for the highway superintendent. If it's on a county road, then it's got to be the county. If it's on a state road, it's got to be by the state. But on a town road, as this law points out, then it will be reviewed and then decide on how to handle it. So this is the introduction to the law, and what I have is, whereas on August 13, 2025, the town board of Berry, town of Berry, introduced a proposed local law entitled Local Law Number 1 of 2025, Town of Berry, Notice of Defects Law. Whereas the town of Berry has identified a need to provide for written notification of defects and obstruction on town highways, bridges, streets, sidewalks, crosswalks, and culverts. And whereas Section 20, subsection 4 of New York State Municipal Home Rule Law allows for the introduction of a proposed local law by a member of the town board, and now therefore proposed local law number 1 of 2025, Town of Berry Notice of Defects Law, is attached hereto and made a part hereof. Okay? So that's the introduction of the law. We vote on this. So all those in favor of this introduction of the proposed law? Second, I introduced it.
I'll second.
Margaret seconds. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed? So carried. Okay. Next is the seeker. The seeker is the adoption of the local law number 1 of 2025, Town of Berry Notice of Defects Law. Project location, Town of Berry, New York. Brief description, this local law will advance and protect the public health, safety, and welfare of the Town of Berry, providing for written notification of defects and obstruction on town highways, bridges, streets, sidewalks, crosswalks, and culverts in the Town of Berry. The applicant is the Town of Berry Town Board. Now, when you go down in the first question, it goes, does the proposed action only involve the legislative adoption of a plan, local law, ordinance, administrative rule, or regulation? The answer to that obviously is yes. So then it says, if yes, attach a narrative description of the intent of the proposed action and the environmental resources that may be affected in the municipality, and proceed to part 2. Part 1 is all we need to do at this time so that we can submit this to the county. So now what I have is the Town of Berry Town Board Resolution to refer the Town of Berry proposed local law entitled Local Law Number 1 of 2025, Town of Berry Notice of Defects Law, to the Orleans County Planning Board pursuant to GML 239-M, as in Michael. Whereas the Town Board of the Town of Berry has introduced a proposed local law entitled Local Law Number 1 of 2025, Town of Berry Notice of Defects Law. Whereas on August 13th, 2025, the Town Board of the Town of Berry declared itself lead agency for purposes of seeker review of the proposed action and complete the short environment assessment form. And whereas the Town Board of the Town of Berry is required to refer any adoption or amendment of a zoning ordinance or local law to the County Planning Board pursuant to GML 239-M. Now therefore, Town Board of the Town of Berry hereby refers the proposed local law entitled Local Law Number 1 of 2025, Town of Berry Notice of Defects Law, to the Orleans County Planning Board for a report and recommendation thereon, a copy of which is attached hereto and made a part thereof. And it is further resolved that the town clerk shall transmit a copy of this resolution and the completed portions of the short environmental assessment form to the Orleans County Planning Board. And it is further resolved that failure of the Orleans County Planning Board to provide said report and recommendation to the town board within 30 days after receipt of this referral by the town board shall be deemed approval of the proposed local law. I've introduced it. Do I hear a second?
I'll second.
Dave seconds. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed?
Aye.
Opposed? So carried. Okay. what we do need to do is set a date as well.
Sean,
And,
can I stop you for a second? Right, so you just did referral to the Orleans County Planning Board. That's what that last resolution was for.
yeah, we still have to do seeker, unlisted, lead agency and unlisted. Yeah, I was gonna say
You
the
put them
same thing.
together.
He put
You,
them
well, he
together?
kept, he
I
kept
put 'em
reading.
both
He
together,
kept reading.
basically, yeah.
Okay, so,
Oh, okay, I didn't hear making
Yeah,
it
I
unlisted
started
and
the
lead
seeker right
agency.
there, and then I went right to the referral to the Orleans County Board.
okay.
You want to vote on the seeker?
Yeah, if you could, I know you guys did the form, but I didn't hear it and maybe I missed it because they were together. If you could just clarify that you declare yourselves lead agency and make it unlisted.
That too. That was kind of like we declared it, like it already happened. But this resolution here, we need to be declaring ourselves as lead agency.
Yeah, and
So
making
I'm
it
gonna
an
stick that
unlisted
in
action.
Seeker, and declaring your lead agency.
Seeker Part 1.
Right, declaring lead agency too, I'm gonna, okay.
And we say a negative seeker?
Well,
To
that's
pat-
Part 2.
To motion it? Oh.
Yeah, right.
So how-
First, we just identify the type, it's unlisted, and that we're lead agency. So
So I make a motion that we accept or do the seeker and we are the lead agency on that.
and find it's an unlisted action.
And what?
And find it's an unlisted action.
And find as an unlisted action.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, all in favor?
Now you got to
Oh,
second.
yeah, yeah, second.
I'll second.
Dave,
Hold
second.
on,
Hold on, hold
What
on.
do you mean?
We got that, good enough.
Finish, find that it is a what?
Unlisted.
Unlisted, thank you.
All I know is we're the lead agency. That's all that matters.
Unlisted, sorry, the brain.
Action.
Unlisted
Action,
action.
sorry. Miles away. And you made it.
Yep.
George.
Dave
Did we get a?
Dave.
Thank you, Dave, you did both, so that helps. And then it was Sean and Dave on the planning board, the county planning board.
Yes.
Yeah. Referral to the county planning.
Got that, yes.
Okay,
All right, now we're back on.
We're going to vote on it.
let's do a vote because we had to amend that on the seeker. So, all in favor on the seeker?
Aye.
Opposed? So carried.
It sounded like a cough.
No, he said aye.
It wasn't on, yeah.
Okay. Now, the next thing we need to do is set a date and time for the public hearing for local law number 1. So I propose that we set a public hearing at the start of our next board meeting, which is the 10th of September.
$6:30, you think?
6:45. It's not going to,
Mike Samaro is 7.
can't do 7. I know, but it can't.
So we just start the town board meeting a little bit later. That's all. We back up the town board meeting.
So we're good at 7 then?
All right.
7 o'clock, September 10th?
Yep.
Okay. I've got a resolution for that. Okay. Whereas the town board of the town of Berry has introduced a proposed local law entitled Local Law Number 1 of 2025, Town of Berry Notice of Defects Law. Whereas on April 13, 2025, Town Board of the Town of Berry declared itself lead agency for purposes of seeker review of the proposed action and completed this short environmental assessment form. Whereas the town board of the town of Berry is required to refer any adoption of amendment of a zoning ordinance or local law to the county planning board pursuant to GML 239-M. Now therefore, the town board of the town of Berry hereby refers the proposed local law entitled local law number 1 of 2025, Town of Berry Notice of Defects Law, to the Orleans County Planning Board for a report and recommendations thereon, a copy of which is attached
I
hereto.
think you already did that one.
Did I read
Yeah.
that?
Yeah, we're just doing the
doing the
public
public hearing.
hearing. We already referred it.
Yeah, well, I got too many whereases here. Okay, scratch that part, sorry, folks. Then, on to this one. Whereas the town of Berry is proposing the construction of a, that's not it.
Just, here,
Need a
I'll
motion for a
just,
public
We
hearing?
just need a notice
Yeah.
for a public hearing.
you can just do,
Whatever.
yeah, that we resolve to a public hearing on the proposed
I'll make a
action
motion that
September
we have
10th.
the public hearing on September 10th, 2025 at 7 PM.
And I will second
Dealing with
that.
the...
Notice
you got-
of
you got
defects.
Dealing with, okay, local law.
All in favor?
Second.
Aye.
That was Sean and Margaret.
Margaret seconded, okay.
Yeah.
Aye.
And Kirk said aye. Opposed? So carried. Okay, now. Okay, for the next one now, we have been talking about this for some time, having to do with the construction of a second water tower, larger and higher elevation, located on, up in the Pine Hill area for some time now. The town of Albion will be involved with this as well. They had a board meeting Monday night, I believe it was, and they were very much in favor of this as well, which is, we sell all our water to the town of Albion, so they are going to be recipients of it. They have the same concerns we have, especially when it comes to firefighting pressure. So, we need to have a public hearing for this as well. Whereas the town of Berry is proposing the construction of a 250,000 gallon elevated water storage tank and appurtenances near Pine Hill Road and Pass Road in the town of Berry to address system deficiencies. The proposed action, and whereas the proposed action includes all related site work, grading, driveways, and appurtenances, and a new pump to be constructed next to the existing tank to transfer water and upgrades to the existing pump station and tank at the estimated maximum cost of $5,244,850. And whereas the town board of the town of Berry classified the proposed action as a type 1 action, and now therefore the town board of the town of Berry hereby resolves to hold a public hearing once again on September 10th at 7 p.m. in Berry Town Hall for the proposed action.
No, let's do 6. Well, let's do 6:30, 6:45.
I was going to ask about that. 6 what?
6:30. Do you think more people may come for that one?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking as well. Okay, so 6:30 you think would be good?
On the 10th again?
On the 10th, same day. So it'll be at 6:30 for this. Public hearing for the local law will be at 7. And then our town board meeting will start right after that second public hearing.
We only have to put it in the Batavia Daily, but do you think for transparency in that, do you think we should put one in the Penny Saver for this?
It's something we're going to pursue and take a look at, yes.
Just so that nobody says, oh, I never saw that.
Okay. So I introduced it. Do I hear a second?
Second.
George seconds. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So carried. Okay, the next one. This is one I just received today, too. Oh. Whereas the Town of Berry Town Board supports the submission of a New York State Water Infrastructure Improvement Act, which is a WIA grant, on behalf of the town for the water tank and pump substation, pump Station project, hereinafter referred to as the project. And whereas affordability for the town residents and property owners is a significant concern in advancement of the proposed project, and whereas an engineering report recommends implementing the project to help improve water quality and protect public health. And now therefore be it resolved as follows. Number one, the town board authorizes Municipal Solutions, Inc. to prepare applications for WIA grant funds from the New York State Environmental Facilities Corporation. And number two, the town board authorizes Sean Pogue in his role as town supervisor to execute the application and any necessary supporting documents required to apply for the WIA grant funds from the New York State Environmental Facilities Corporation. And number three, this resolution shall take effect immediately. Okay, I introduced it. Second?
I'll second. Oh, give it to Kirk.
Okay, Kirk seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed? So carried. Okay. Next. Motion on the foil. Whereas Ms. Carrie Richardson appealed to the town board a denial letter sent on August 8th, 2025, denying Ms. Richardson's June 21st, 2025 FOIL, seeking text message correspondence from Sean Pogue, Supervisor Pogue, the denial, and whereas following a diligent search of town records, including coordination with the supervisor's office, the town has determined that it does not possess any records responsive to this request, and whereas Supervisor Pogue does not have the requested messages stored on his personal device, and whereas the August 8, 2025 denial cited that the town does not have responsive records and denied the request on the grounds that no such records exist within the custody or the control of the town of Barry. And whereas the denial was guided by advisory opinions issued by the New York State Committee on Open Government, which have found the Freedom of Information Law pertains only to records that are in the possession or custody of an agency, and if an agency does not maintain or have possession of a record, it cannot provide access to it. And whereas the denial was guided by advisory opinions issued by the New York State Committee on Open Government, that agencies are not required to obtain or access records stored on personal devices unless those records were prepared, maintained, or used by an employee in the performance of official duties, and the agency has the ability to retrieve them. And therefore, the Town Board of the Town of Barry upholds the August 8, 2025 denial sent by the town's Records Access Officer, as the town does not have responsive records and no records exist within the custody or control of the town of Barry. And therefore, a copy of this resolution and the denial will be mailed to the Committee on Open Government. Now, I introduced it. Do I hear a second?
I'll second.
Margaret, second. I recuse myself from the vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And I'm going to abstain.
Did you get me?
I got you, Kirk.
Okay, so
I'm going to abstain.
Margaret was yes.
Motion, yep. Dave was yes.
Dave was yes.
Kirk was yes.
Was yes. You are abstaining. Okay, Sean, I'm sorry, go back.
He had to recuse himself.
So
Yes.
Sean is recused because of your involvement. They said when it's you're abstaining, they just want like 2 or 3 words. What?
Because if she goes further, she's my daughter, and she's going to go further for that. I don't want to be on.
Okay, you don't have to go
You said you wanted to.
You're
I only gave you 10 questions, 10 words.
It's related to.
Yeah, to the spoiler,
Requester,
requester.
related to requester.
Or appellant? Yeah, because she appealed, yeah.
Related to.
Okay. And it is so carried. Okay, supervisor financials.
Before we get into that stuff, I should probably have the Old business. Did we have any any training scheduled yet for we do?
No, I mean,
For the training. Yeah.
Oh, for the
Yes,
AEDs.
yes.
I contacted the gentleman last month. He said he'd have to take a look at his calendar. He was going to see what he could do in the month of August. He was supposed to get back to me.
Okay.
I will contact him once again.
You may want to contact Jean Peglo, because she said that they have some at the church, and the guy came right out.
It's the same guy.
They had
It's the same guy
There's no
because
problem.
Lee gave me the gentleman's name and
Yep.
number.
okay.
And that's who I was talking to, but unfortunately, him and his wife were driving somewhere at that time.
Okay,
So
perfect.
I'll try and get a hold of him for that, yes.
Okay, good.
Okay. Supervisor's report. Expenditures through July are on the average of 58.3%. The town, we have spent $399,181, so we're at 57%. The highway has spent $607,000, or 49.03% of the budget so far, of their budget. Everybody receive a copy of Dale's report? Any questions on that? Our extension on Eagle Harbor Road was approved. So, other than just grading it a little bit more, waiting for if we ever get any rain for a period of time, so that the soil where they put the new pipeline in would settle, so they can do some grading, but they still have markers up in that area right there. The bag is off the fire hydrant, so it is flowing. We've got a loop there. It's 2 dead ends now, which will save us on water. I don't know if you've noticed going down Maple Street, they've marked off the center of the road on Maple. They'll be starting work on that in a couple of weeks. So that'll be taken care of. I think that's pretty much it. Maureen gave me her report. Everybody's had a chance to look at that. Total of $1,174 came in through her office. Town assessor. Her report says, all residential vacant and farm parcels for the town of Berry have been reviewed and updated to reflect their current condition. She is still working on commercial and utility parcels as well as updating land values. So far, she's on track for 2026 reassessment. A reassessment is necessary. The inequity in the town is quite large. She's seeing many similar homes with drastic assessed values and homes that are in normal condition marked as fire or poor condition, as well as many missing improvements. It's not fair to the properties that are being assessed accurately, swinging the tax burden to them. For example, she says that there was a home on Hemlock Ridge Road sold for $245,000, and its assessed value was $86,600. And a home on West Lee Road sold for $375,000, when its assessed value was $159,800. As always, she says that if anybody wishes to talk to her, they can easily reach out to her at her office number, 589-5400.
I did have a conversation with her, and there was a lot of good information. One thing there that kind of went right over my head, when she gives those numbers of 245 and if the assessment is 86,000, they're paying taxes on 86,000. Even though they just paid 245, they're still only paying taxes on the 86,000 until
the
we reassessment.
yeah.
Yeah.
So we need the reassessment.
But, and 100% agree with everything she said, but knowing a closely related assessor who pulls her hair out every day, this is across the board, just a trend that everybody's heard about the housing market. And even if we reassessed last year, people are still paying 100% over assessment. I mean, it's ridiculous. They're paying double what it's assessed for, even if they were just reassessed last year. It's just the way people are, what they're paying for houses. It's ridiculous, and other people that can't afford it can't get into a house, but I won't mention that either. But, so I'm not saying not to reassess. I'm just saying it's a frustrating trend.
Right. But it's something that does need to be done.
Oh, yeah.
We need to be
It's
on
gonna
top of
help.
it, because the other thing is, if this bubble bursts and people are selling their homes under the assessed value, they don't have any recourse to getting that tax money back that they've been spending. So we need to, you don't get your assessment lowered, so.
It's just a crazy market.
Okay, Code Enforcement Officer Jared Hicks. He has closed out one permit open from last year, which was a residential home. He received a barn permit from last year that he needs to close out, but trying to schedule the inspection. There's also 2 permits from this year that he's closed out this month, a deck and a generator system. There have been 2 new permits opened in July, which is on the spreadsheet which he had sent me. There will be another barn and new house permit coming in soon that I am aware of after reviewing and trying to dig up our old codes. I have come to the conclusion that both animal hospitals are a pre-existing non-conforming use, and paperwork has gone in their files and mailed to them. With that being said, they are grandfathered to regarding a SUP, but should they come up for an addition or expanding their business, then they will be required to apply for an SUP at that point. He's currently working with the owner at Eastbury Road regarding the stop work order and order to correct that he had issued. Once an application and plans are submitted, he will review it. He doesn't believe that they will be allowed to put the trailer on as an addition at the moment due to our code, but he is reviewing that one further. So that's it from the code enforcement. Planning board.
Why don't we got the last 5 minutes when you decided to send your comprehensive plan to the town board, the sound was, is Gary Palmer there?
No.
No? Just Anthony, what went on there?
I was at the planning board for part of the meeting.
Okay.
I know that they got a new subdivision application. That's what I called in on Monday to assist them with that. And it's just one parcel split into 2. And You go ahead. You go ahead. I was only there for part of it. And I will be at the next meeting to continue to help them. There's a question on the subdivision law that some of the members are reading a little differently. I kind of explained over the phone, but I think it'll be a better conversation in person, just so we have that process streamlined going forward.
Okay.
But then I left after the application.
Anything else that you want to add to that, Lee? I like that, Kirk said, is Lee there? And you come running down the hallway. Nothing?
That was basically it, was the land separation,
Okay.
so.
Okay. Thank you. Zoning board didn't meet, did they?
No, they did not.
Okay. Park, Dave?
It's been so hot, I don't think anybody's been down there. I have seen absolutely nobody on the equipment. It's just nasty out, brutal to be out in the open like that.
How about with the utilities? Anything there? RG&E keeps sending a lot of stuff out.
Yeah, I'm investigating that. The utilities, they will be up. I'm sure our EC bill is gonna be quite large this month. And there's no real break in sight that I can see in the weather, so.
No. They're talking about being a little cooler or milder next week by 5 degrees.
Yeah. So instead of 94, it's gonna be 89.
Yeah,
Great.
with it, still the humidity.
Yep.
Okay, we're back to you now.
I think my only other update, last month we referred that FEMA law to the DEC, which we had to do. I got comments back, I believe yesterday, pretty minimal. One of it was from their model law they sent us that said 2 feet and instead it's supposed to be 1 feet, so that was nothing on us. We had our fee blank, which we knew was blank, but I just talked to Maureen and we're gonna keep it general that the town board will decide annually, like most fee schedules, so we're not committing to a fee and have to amend the law later on, so I think that's a good suggestion. The only other thing that when we drafted the law, DEC had a page of optional language to include. It was like 5 items, and the 5th item didn't apply for whatever reason, but we decided to put in the other 4 just to, keep very up to date and above. But then talking to DEC, if you go above, you have to actually petition the state because you're going above the uniform codes. It wasn't clear in the initial for the optional language, but looking at the process, and this is what I want to ask the board's opinion, I don't think that optional language is necessary. I'm not sure it's worth adding it in to petition the town to go above and beyond, because from what I understand, there aren't a ton of flood areas in Barre, is that correct? So the 2 definitions, and really this covers most of the 4, because it's like the definitions and then where it is later in the document. It's cumulative impact, but there's one on substantial impact that I think covers it enough, and then critical resources. So I propose maybe just removing that additional language. I just have to send a revised copy to DEC. They wanted all comments by the 15th, so I'm a little unclear if they need the revision by the 15th, but I assume they do. So just was curious the board's thought, or if you want to be extra protective, we can keep it in, and then just know that we would have to do a petition later on. We'll be introducing this in the September meeting, but we just have to have a pretty solid draft with DEC's kind of stamp of approval before then. So if we're removing any language, we kind of need to let them know.
And I do have this planned for our workshop in September as well, only because we have a deadline on this that we have to get this approved by, which means public hearing for this as well. chance to take a look at it yet. As soon as she does, she'll be forwarding it to us, and we'll have a little discussion about it.
Yeah, well, I think actually I have to respond to DEC
15th.
before the workshop, because it's August 15th, so that's what I was asking your opinion. And I think we could even, you know, and maybe this is what the board wants me to do, and so I'll ask you, I could give them 2 copies, one with the law with that additional language in, one without it, to see if they have any comments, and you guys could decide on the workshop. I just want to make sure the DEC comment period is complete.
You say the 15th of this month or next month?
They had to review and comment by the
2 days.
15th, so I'm pretty sure they would like our revisions before then. But that part was a little unclear. But I would want to err on the side of caution if August 15th is the deadline for that. That would be great, yeah. Okay. Okay, thank you.
Is there any downside for submitting both?
I think we can, yeah, I think we can say, I talked to the board, they wanted to have a more thorough discussion, so here are our 2 drafts, and you guys could talk about it more in the workshop, because I actually went through before to kind of track change and take out the additional language, just so I could see what that was, and I thought it would be okay removing, but I'm fine sending them both versions, so, and then you guys make a decision at the workshop. I don't think they'd have any issue, because it's like we're either approving one of these, so, yeah.
That's what I was thinking.
So I could do that.
That's my thought on it.
Okay.
Sounds good.
And is the fee language acceptable for the board for us to add that in? Oh, yeah, that would be great.
Here, all applications for a flood plan development permit shall be accompanied by an application fee to be determined by the Berry Town Board annually, updated on the fee schedule. Instead of putting a fee amount,
Yeah,
it's going to have that sentence in there.
works for me.
Okay. Then,
I find it interesting that if we were to put a specific fee and dollar amount in there, that like all our other fees, we can't just adjust it as we do our other fees. What we would have to do is amend that local law.
right,
And that's ridiculous.
yeah, so I think this gives you guys way more leeway, and I don't think they'll have an issue with it. Their comment was just that we had left it blank, so I don't see them having an issue with that verbiage, but I guess we'll find out if they do.
Find out.
Yeah. Okay.
Corey was helping the other town clerks with that verbiage. And one of the town clerks said she looked into the local laws of other communities that recently adopted on this. And that they're all going with that.
Okay, great. So I will send them the 2 copies of the law, one with the language in, one without, explain that these are our 2 laws the town will work through in the workshop, and see if they have additional comments.
Sounds good.
You guys have that.
I got it.
Anything else then?
Sean, is Bill Lake there
No.
tonight?
No.
Okay.
Courtroom's empty tonight.
Sorry, guys.
Okay, anything else? Okay, do I hear a motion to end this meeting?
I'll make the motion.
I will second.
Dave and Margaret, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So carried. Bye, Kirk. Enjoy that lobster.
All right, Kirk out.
Oh, Star Trek.
Please turn
Star
your
Trek.
mics off.
That's what you're thinking of.
Yep.